Hi, Friday again. Something a bit different this week. I was going back through some of my photos the other day, and we have a little walk down the backfields, which we call Narnia, because it has the old gas lamps on. And when you go down, they have, at certain times of the year, they have the red mushrooms, fly agaric, I think it's pronounced. And I thought, oh, we could do toadstools. So I've done a few little doodles of different types of ones that you could do. So going for the red one with spots on it. So you could just do it very traditionally, like from the front. You also might want to do it where it's tilted up a little bit so you can see the gills. It's going to be totally up to you which one you fancy doing. So I have pulled out a little bit of dyed wool from my background. I've got another piece of this dyed fabric that I was sent. And then I thought, ooh, I'm going to go for something a bit natural for my stalk and possibly my gills. So just getting all my colours together. So this is going to be my background piece. And then I'm going to applique on my mushroom or my fungi. Or if you watch that TV programme that was on Netflix in America, they call it Fungi. I couldn't get over it. It really confused me, and I'm thinking, oh my god, have I pronounced it wrong all these years and it is actually fungi? But fungi just sounds really weird. I think fungi is so much better. We have enough things in our lives these days that are complicated. So it's either fungi or fungi, I don't know, wherever you're from, and other people will pronounce it in lots and lots of different ways as well. So I think I'm going to go for this one here, this little one here where you can see a little bit of the gills. We've got the stalk and then we've got the outside. So I'm going to start with the outside shape first. So I think what I might do is, put a bit of paper there, I might do myself a little bit of a template, just so I can plan out my size, because I still get a little bit stressed if I cut fabric out and it's not quite right. So let's have a look. So I'm going to have my little stem, come down to the bottom, and then that's going to go around. So I'm going to do that as one big shape. And then I'm going to add in the other bit, a bit more rounded. There we go. That's all right. Okay. Trim that off. So sometimes just using a template, it can just help a little bit. There we go. I don't normally do little pictures, but I think after I did like the egg, what else did we do? A butterfly. Just thinking a heart. I think every so often it's quite nice to do something that's like an actual shape. Okay, so this is going to be my top of my fungi. I don't think it's double. Nope. Ooh, now I've got to choose a bit. I want it proper red, so I'm going to go at this end. Over here. That's not my fabric pen. Get rid of that. Fabric pen. So I'm going to draw the cap of the fungi, and that'll go right across there. So that's going to be my base. So you might not want to do one of these ones. You might want to do something different. You might want to do a little group. Just thought it'd be quite nice to do something cute. Yep, there we go. So that's that bit. Right, now I need to do the next bit. So if I then cut off, because I want the red to come round. So what I'm going to do on my template now is cut off the bit that I want to be red, because then I can work with the bit that's then going to go over the top. There we go. Right, so I'm going to do this in two pieces. So I'm going to have the inside and then the stem. So I think the inside I might have a bit of colour, just so then it looks a little bit different from the outside. Quite like that actually. That's quite cute. Mind you, I'm not going to see that bit. I quite like the grey. Right, we'll go for that. So you could do this from different pieces of fabric or just the same piece. So again, this one I'm going to do a circle, and like I've done in the past when we've done applique, if you wanted to bond it down, you could just put some bond web on the back and then iron it all so it doesn't move. I'm not going to actually bond a web this time, mainly because I think sometimes with bond web, well, for one, I'm doing it onto wool, which isn't that ideal, but I want, when I do the stitching on it, to sort of create a little bit of it's a bit like a quilt, a bit quilted. Right, so that's going to be the inside of my little fungi. Oh, I'm not sure. I think I need that a bit bigger. Oh, bum tiddly pum. It needs to be a bit bigger. All the best laid plans. What the heck? Right, go there and just go a little bit bigger. See, I thought I was being really, really organised then, and I had a plan, and he went down the toilet pretty quickly. But never mind, these are just bits out my scrap basket. And bits that I don't use will go back in my scrap basket and will probably get used at a later date. There we go. Right, let's have a look. That's better. Second time lucky. There we go. Right, now I need to do my little stalk. So if I trim the outsides off, so I know the length of my stalk. Making a mess already. So I want my stalk just to be plain, I think. Or do I go with a bit of colour? Maybe go with a little bit of colour. And I'm going to use, because when you look at these fungi as well, sometimes they have like a little fringe on them, and I thought I might use a little bit of the fringing off the edge of my fabric to stitch onto it to give it a bit of fringing. That'll be quite cute. And then we've got to make the spots on our mushroom. So you could use loads of different things. So you could go back to like French knots like we did last week. You could add bullion knots in there. Oh, that's cute. Oh, that's well cute. Love it. So I want a bit of fringing. A little bit of fringing. And I'm going to cut a curve, ever so slight, like a slight curve, just so it'll make it feel like it's going round. Okay, that's going to go on there. Oh, thank you. Oh, got a cup of coffee. That's nice. Thank you. Trim that off at the edges. There we go. That's my little bit of fringing on my little fungi. Look at that little dude. How cute is that? That is so cute. Oh my goodness. I love that. Right, pop all the bits out of the way so I tidy up. Look at him. How cute is he? Oh my god, love it. Right, getting a bit carried away. There we go. Now the blue bits that you can see on it, what I'll be able to do is when I finish doing this, I can get a brush with some water in and it just gets rid of the blue. Right, pins. Oh, there you go. There we go, right in front of me. Okay, smoky. I actually haven't even considered how I'm going to stitch this down at all. I just thought we'll make a fun guy. A little fun guy. Dee dee dee. Oh, I love it when you start doing something and it works. Oops. I need to invest in some new pins. I've been using the same ones again and again and again. And eventually pins are a little bit like needles. They get blunt. You can buy like pin sharpeners. It's little like metal things that they've got magnets in so that you can put your needles on them when you're busy working, and some of them have a little hole in that you can stick your needles in and it sharpens them. Quite clever. I haven't got one. Right, there we go. So we're all pinned. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is stitch it down. So I just thought I was just going to use a cream thread for all of it. Just got to start thinking about stitches, and then I've got this, which is I think they're called neeps, and I just thought that some of these would look really cute just couched down as my little dots. Start pulling just some little bits out. So it's like it's a waste product from sheep that they've cottoned on, that people like us will pay money for them, whereas I would imagine originally they were waste products. So the idea is that I'm going to couch those down, I think, to create the little dots, and I'm going to put some stitching for my little fronds inside, but that'll come in a minute. But these could be little French knots or little buttons or absolutely anything. Where's my needle? I've threaded it. There we go. Okay, right, I'm going to start with my stem. So I'm just going to do just a little straight stitch, like a little patch, just from my little background, on the background, and just trapping that down. You don't have to put a little frayed edge on. It was just when I was looking at the pictures, and just like as the mushrooms grow, they have like a little frayed skirt. So I thought, oh, when I got the edge of my fabric, I just thought, oh, that'd be kind of cute. Oops. Move that out of the way. So your stitching for this could be absolutely anything. Favourite stitches, simple stitches, you could make it really complicated. It's going to be totally up to you. But once you start stitching things down, it becomes a little bit easier to manage. There we go. So I'm just going to stitch that bit, because then it sort of lifts off the surface, so it gives you that sort of 3D sort of effect. Right, so edge of my thingy. Oh, now this is going to be a problem, because I have got a fabric that's going to fray. So I think what I'll do is I will do a blanket stitch. Oops. So that the line goes down, and then I catch this down. And it just means then it'll just keep that edge just nice and neat. So you just travel, line goes down the line that you go in, and then just do a little stitch. Normally I'd do the stitch in one go, but when you're doing something that's a bit more delicate, it's a little bit easier just to take your time and just do one stitch at a time. The thread that I'm using is one that I got at I think it was a vintage fair. I'm not even quite sure what it is. I think it might be a book binding thread. It's quite a harsh thread. It's quite stiff, but it's not the easiest thing to stitch with, but I do kind of like it. Right, so what I'm going to do is when I get to this bit, the next stitch, I'm just going to lift my little skirt up and just do the next one underneath. There we go. Going down around the bottom. As you go along, as you get things done, you can start taking your pins out. If obviously you decided to bonder web this down, you wouldn't have to worry about pins. So I would have probably liked this stitch to have been a little bit smaller, but I've chosen quite an open weave fabric, so I think the stitches would actually have just disappeared. So if you are doing an open weave, then if you want to get around that, bonding it onto the background will mean that your edges won't fray. So the bonder web, I've used that before in some previous videos. It's basically like a fusible glue that you iron, but there's all sorts of things that you could use. You can get fabric glues, so whatever makes your life easier. I just decided not to make my life easy today. Again, for those of you that are kind of keen-eyed, I'm wearing exactly the same outfit as last week, mainly because I'm filming a few tags. I wanted just a nice evening stitching, so I thought, oh, I'll do some bulk stitching. So that's going underneath my skirt. Cover that. Oh, I might get another one underneath there. There we go. And you just have to think about just your different stitches and what you could use. What decorative stitches. You could just use the same stitch for the whole thing. So again, you can make it as simple or as complicated as you wish. So because I'm just doing the single bit of fabric there, I can actually do the stitch and get the thread underneath. It's just when you get to the thicker bits of fabric where you've got a few layers, it's just a little bit harder to do it just as one stitch. And sometimes it's not the most accurate where it comes out. Take that one out. Oh, oops. There we go. Oops. Right, back to the beginning. So then to finish off your little blanket stitch, just jump over that last stitch and go down the back. Okay, right, so coming on around the edge of this. So I think for this one, I'm hoping I might get away, TV's gone off, with a back stitch. So back stitch, you do a stitch and then you go on a stitch and then come back. So this is going to give you a solid line. So it's just going backwards. Oops. Come on. Oh, there you go. There we go. I've got my blanket stitch all the way around. I've got my little frayed edge. There's a little skirt. There we go. The blanket stitch, and then I'm just doing a back stitch just to stitch that, just the edge of it down really. Would have made my life easier if I had a bond webbed it all down. But who says life needs to be easy? Bit of a challenge every now and again does you good. I just think sometimes when you work with bond web it can end up with things just looking a bit too flat. And if you are going to do it like on a wool background or something like that, just be careful with the heat of your iron, because you don't want to either shrink or burn or melt your fabric. Really don't want to do that. Okay, right, so I've gone all the way around there, and then I'm going to add in my little fronds. Let's sort of go on the outside, just into the middle. I'm going to try and tuck it so it goes behind there. So I'm just going to stitch from the outside, and then I'm poking my needle just underneath that bit of fabric so it takes that thread just out and behind. And sort of angle it. Yep. Then do the same at the other side. La-da-dee. I think I'm probably going to run out of thread. So for stitching on the next bit, my little things, there's, like I said, there's a couple of different things that you could do. One of them is you could just do it with stitch. So it could just be little French knots, little bullions, seed stitches or anything, or it could be beads and buttons, anything really that you've got. Like I say, I've just got these little bits of wool that I just think just work really nicely. So when it comes to stitching those on, I'm actually going to use a machine thread because I want it to be quite delicate. So that's my back stitch all the way back round. I don't think I'm going to have enough thread to do my little frondy things. I might give it a go. Might regret it. I think I'm going to regret it. Right, tie that one off. I'm not going to do that thing that you do where you end up with the tiniest little bit of thread and you're just trying to force it, trying to convince it that it's going through. I Ain't gonna happen. I just need a little bit more. This thread's great. It's good to, I don't think I'll ever use it all up. It's not the easiest thing to work with, but I just really, really like it. It's not the easiest thing to thread on your needle. There we go. We're off. Let's flip that round. I'm really liking this. I think it looks really cute. Okay. Right, let's finish my little what's-its. I love fungi. It's one of the things that I take loads and loads of pictures of. If you go off in the woods, the right type of weather. So we have a lot of woods around here that are all managed, and they leave. I think I need a longer stitch over that. They leave all the wood, so we get loads of fungi just growing. Just on all the dead wood and dead trees. Even had some tiny little ones growing in the garden last year, which was really cute. Oh, that's better. Just felt like it just needed something to make it feel like that bit was definitely going into my mushroom. So just doing a few stitches on there, and then what I'll do is I'll just do a little couching stitch in the middle, just up and over the top, just to pull them together. Just want to make it feel like that. There we go. That step's actually going into the little cap on my mushroom. Okay, right, next step. Let's get the topping on. Need a light coloured thread. What we got? Let's have a look. Oh, perfect. Oh, there's not much left on that. Right, so I'm going to stitch on now the little neepy bits. So I'm not sure yet whether or not I'm actually going to do. I might not need to stitch the actual cap on, because I don't want to really get rid of that red edge. So I'm hoping that stitching these on is going to be enough to hold it all down. So I'm just going to pop these on and then just couch them down, hoping just a couple of stitches. Just to hold it in place. There we go. I think just by not stitching the edge of the cap down, it's gonna let's make it feel like it's actually coming off the piece of fabric. So some of these are little dots, some of them are not. It sort of creates that perfect texture for the dots that are on the actual fungi, because it does sort of sit off the surface. So now some that go right to the edge, so that it does make it feel like it's something three-dimensional. So these are just like little stabbing stitches just to catch it in place. Oh, I'm liking this. Shows you end up buying random bits and pieces. Never too sure if you'll ever use them. But I do like using these actually within my work, because they just create a great texture. It's like some of the wiggly, like the long wiggly wormy type ones are just brilliant. Oh, I hope this is still filming. My computer's totally gone off. Hopefully I'm still there. I'm still here. Yeah, I'm still here. Okay, I don't know what happened there. My screen went off. Can't get rid of me that easily. Oops. Oh, there's a little dude has just wandered in. I'll move things out of the way in case he jumps up. Don't want him standing on a pin. It's very cheeky if I don't actually shut the door properly. You can hear me. What are you doing? The door's normally shut. I think I've mentioned this before. It's normally shut on my room, so... Oh, he's off. Oh, I've been ditched. He's not coming to say hello today. Nope, he's gone. Oh, look at that. That's looking so cute. Oh, it sounds like he's now got the zoomies. This is the latest thing. He sets off on the stairs. He goes down the stairs, slides on the carpet that's by the front door, sets off into the kitchen because it's a wooden floor. He skids around all the corners and then just goes and stands on the rug as if like, look at me, I am amazing. And then he sets off again. It's quite funny. God, this is turning out better than I thought. Shut that door. Sorry, I had a quick drink. See, normally I disappear and I go and finish things, but I think I'm enjoying this one a bit too much. So I'm sticking with you. And we're finishing off. Pardon? You going to take it? Right, okay. Right, bye. See, video for any long period of time, people have to come and talk to me. Just can't cope. Tiny little bits. Oh, little schmiggly bits. It's turned into a bit of a fantasy mushroom now. I'll take a few right to the edge. So yeah, I'm not going to need to stitch down the cap at all. These are going to just hold it in place. Just need a couple, I think I just need a couple of little bits just there and there. Oh. I love this, I love sewing. So there's little bits to do. So what's this, 35 minutes? It's just nice. I know it probably takes a little bit longer than that because you have to go and search through your stash, but just something to sit and do. So thank you for still being with me. What, we're on week 20. Just flying by. Absolutely flying by. I just need some little bits around there. Go like that. No, little dot. Yeah, absolutely flying by. So thank you so much for carrying on supporting everything on Ko-fi. I know every so often people seem to have a couple of little hiccups accessing it and things like that, but hopefully it gets sorted out pretty quickly. But thank you so much for supporting the project. Even getting quite excited about coming up with ideas already for next year. It's just like stitching, just having something to do. Bit of a project. On that side. Dee dee dee. Oh, that's really cute. Love that. Do I need another little bit? Tiny, tiny, teeny, teeny, tiny one. Teeny, teeny, tiny. Let's put one teeny, tiny one there. Just to take it around the edge. Stitch that down. There we go. So cute. I did wonder, did I need to do some, might do some lines. Just with this thinner thread. So you can start doing and adding absolutely anything you want to. I felt like it just needed something. I'm just using the similar colour. It just adds a little bit of texture. Just to the stalk. Oh, my needle's come unthreaded. And go back in, you little tinker. Can't even see what I'm doing now. Oh, sorry, I've just headbutted you all. There we go. Needle to thread. There we go. Oh, look at that. Oh, just from a really simple idea, just because I was searching back through some photographs. It's a great way of getting inspiration. Just looking at the sorts of things that you take pictures of. It's like your subconscious is selecting things that you really like. So you'll notice there will probably be colours or plants or textures that probably feature quite a lot in your photos. They're just the things that you're just drawn to naturally. Look at that, that's way cute. Don't know if I need, maybe, I don't know, do I need some grass at the bottom? Oh, no. No. Might just do, just use this, because I don't really want to introduce another colour thread to this. So I really want the red of the fabric just to sort of shine out a little bit. Needle. Oh. Yeah. Oh, not going to go in that one. Go for a bigger eye. There we go. I really need to set my computer so that it doesn't switch itself off, or switch the screen off anyway. Oh, can't even tie a knot now. There we go. I'll do a couple of these and see what I think, and it might be that I get rid of them. I don't know. Just felt like it just needed just something at the base. So because this is like quite a sturdy thread, I'm only going to just go around my needle 3 times. So French knots, we did this last week. Just point your needle away from the hole alongside the thread. Oh, don't mind that. A couple close by, and then we're done. Probably should have given myself a bit more thread. Oh well, I can always add a few more afterwards. So I'm just doing a few just on the base. Gives it a little bit of grounding. So I might do a few more of those on there. We shall see. But there we go. That's really cute. Absolutely love it. So there's our fungi. Yay! Can't wait to see what everybody comes up with. Week 21. There we go. Fantastic. So I'll see you same time, same place next week. Happy stitching.